right. So ladies, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We are so glad that y'all took the time out tonight to sit with us. Ashley, Tanya, and I are so excited to talk to you guys about goal setting and vision. One of the biggest things with just life in general is having a plan, you guys, having a plan of action. And for me, I have been setting goals for a long time. I've been a planner since I was in high school. And I feel like the older I get, the more important setting goals and having a vision for my future is. I want to share with you guys something that it's something in one of my planners that I have. I actually use, it's called a Cultivate What Matters 2020 Power Sheet. I don't at all expect anybody on this call to run out and get those, but I did want to share with you what I use. It's a great tool that I have been using for several years, but she has some great content in here, and I just wanted to share this to begin our call. Maybe you're afraid to let your pen touch this paper because you want to put down perfect words, final, clear, polished, perfect answers in perfect handwriting. Maybe you feel inadequate, overwhelmed, lost, or unsure of the path ahead. Maybe you're afraid that the words you put down here will change you. So you hesitate. Guess what? The flowers grow through the dirt, and so do you, my sister. Hesitate no more. It's time to get your hands dirty. Make a mess, dig in, and a year from now, you'll be so glad you did. Ladies, if there's one thing that I want you to take away from this call tonight, is that when you sit down a year from today and look back at these goals that you've written down and you see the successes that you've had because you decided to take the time out of your busy schedule to actually set goals and take action on those goals, I promise you're going to be so happy that you did. So I just wanted to start the call off that way because I feel like it is so important. It is so scary to set goals. We're so afraid that we're going to fail, but that's why we set goals, you guys. Goals are set because we are going to fail. Not all of those goals that we set tonight are going to come to head right now. They might come to head 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now, but little by little, we are going to take action together as a team. All of us here tonight are here for a purpose because we want to get a little bit better than we were the day before. And so I'm excited to share more with you. And I know Ashley and Tanya are excited to share more with you about our vision and goal setting party too. Do we want to start with our vision exercise?
Yeah, I was just going to say, let's hop right into, there's a vision exercise that is, if you have the Rise Up planner that looks like this, there's a vision exercise in the very beginning. This was created for coaches specifically. There's a really successful coach who created it, and it really simplifies our vision, how to go about reaching our goals, and how to really organize your thoughts and everything in one spot. And so if you haven't, this is a nice tool. You don't obviously have to get this, but us 3 leaders from the mentorship have used this and we found it to be helpful, especially that vision exercise in the very beginning. So we wanted to kind of walk you guys through that today. I know Christy was going to start us off with the very first 2 components of it, and then we're going to keep moving along. So if you don't, I would take a moment and grab a pen or pencil, something to write with, and a piece of paper, because we're going to be walking you through something that's very hands-on. We want this call to be helpful for you. We want you to take away a lot from this call. So if you have a moment, we'll give you a moment here to grab something if you don't have it nearby.
All right, let me see everybody's pen in their hands. Show me your pens. Everybody ready? Okay, we're going to start off with a magic question, you guys. And you're like, magic? What? I know, we're going to work magic with you guys here tonight. So this is a big question too. And the first time I read this, I felt a little overwhelmed. Don't feel overwhelmed. I want you guys to just sit, close your eyes for just a minute, and I want you to think about this question. If you had all of the money and all of the time in the world, What would your life look like in just 2 to 3 years? It's important to remind yourself to not play small. If you think about it, write it down. So we're actually going to give you some prompts here, and that's what Tanya was talking about. But this is our big focus right now, right? What is our vision? What is a vision? A vision is something that we're thinking towards for the future, right? A vision for our life, a vision for our business, a vision for our finances, all of these different things. So we're going to go through those little by little. So I'm going to ask the question one more time so that everybody can get it written down, because I'm a total note taker, so I don't want y'all to miss anything. If you had all the money and all the time in the world, what would your life look like in just 2 to 3 years? It's important to remind yourself not to play small. If you think it, write it down. So we're going to talk about 6 different areas. So your job. Let's talk about your job. Let's think about your job. What are you doing right now? How many hours a day are you working? Where are you working? With whom do you work? Do you have a team of people that you work with, or do you work alone? What are the people that you're working with? What are they doing? Do you have a mentor? Is there somebody mentoring you in your job right now? Or do you feel like maybe you need a mentor? Are you a master of your craft? So think about those questions. I'm going to say them again. Your job. What are you doing? How many hours a day are you working? Where are you working? With whom do you work? Do you have a team? What are they doing? Do you have a mentor? Do you need a mentor? Are you a master of your craft? So I'm going to let y'all take just a second to write those down.
Also, for people who are visual, I did type in like a little bit of what she was saying. So in case you want to like go back and look at that, you can go into the chat window. Yeah. It's hard with these fake nails on, you guys. I'm not used to this.
Fake nails. That's awesome.
I was trying to get fancy for Christmas because they're so bad, and then I broke one yesterday trying to work out.
Those nails. It's hard being beautiful.
You're funny.
If y'all know Tanya, you know that she, in the past, has been a nail biter. So that's a big deal for you to have those nails. I'm proud of you, sister. That was one of your goals last year, right?
Yeah, I stopped. I'm going to start that back up again. I did really well with Atomic Habits using mental training.
I thought you meant you're going to start biting them again.
Oh, no.
You mean you're going to start trying not to bite them again.
Yeah.
It's a good goal. But see, Tanya met her goal for a little bit, and then she kind of like started biting again, and now she has that new goal. So see, I mean, it can be any kind of goal, you guys. Okay, let's talk about our finances and not our nails. But if you're a nail biter, maybe you should write that down. So I used to be a nail biter too, so that's why I can talk about that. So let's talk about our finances. So what does that look like? What is your annual income? Do you get bonuses? How much do you have in savings? Are you investing? How are your investments going? Get specific in these areas, you guys. Really sit and think about that. What is your annual income? Do you get bonuses? How much do you have in savings? Are you investing? How are your investments doing? Get specific. Ashley, were you going next?
Okay. Yep. And what I want to remind you guys is we are doing these prompts because you're going to write your vision statement, which is what all of these prompts are going to have to do with. My vision statement is like almost a page long, but it's with these prompts. I'm talking about all of these certain things in my vision statement, and they're things that are really personal to you that literally, when I wrote my vision, I wrote a vision statement when I first started, and I didn't really have any feeling towards it. I wrote it again like a couple months ago, and I was literally in tears because that's how much this vision statement meant to me, and that's how deep I got into it. So don't just write things that are just like, write things that truly you feel to your core. Because yeah, that's what you're going to do is after this, by yourself, you're going to write your vision statement that you're going to read every single day if you can. That's like the first thing I do in the mornings, just to like start my day off really good. That's part of my morning routine. So mine are your home. What does it look like? Where is it? Is it by the ocean? Is it in the mountains? It said in the mountains. I just made that one up. Is there a guest house, horses, a pool? What is if you're looking towards a home or something like that, what is that something that you have a feeling towards? This hits home for me because we are looking to like move hopefully in 2020. So I'm definitely going to be writing about this again and like really feeling it. So just think about that. I'll write it in here if nobody's written it in yet. So your home, what does it look like? Or maybe you just got a home and how do you want to make it feel homey? I know Abby just moved to Indiana. She literally just moved this last weekend. This week, I don't even know what day it is. I'm in the middle of like Christmas and New Year's. What day is it? But I mean, if you have a home, how are you going to make it homey? So I'll let you think about that for a second.
I think another way to look at that is if you're looking in a big picture, because I'm older than some of you guys on this call, and my home I'm thinking of my second home, my home that I want to have when I retire. What kind of travels and kind of things like that do I want to do? So whenever we talk about thinking big for each and every one of us will look very different. So I just want you guys to take that into account of where you are in your life, what that looks like. And all of these goals and all of these topics that we talk about, just because I have one goal, it may look very different for the rest of you. So take that into consideration too, as whenever you're thinking big, thinking about the future as well.
Okay, and then the next is your relationships. Are you single? Are you married? What does your relationship look like with your significant other? Do you have weekly date nights? That's something that when I do my brain dumps, hold on, baby. Hold on just a second. When I do my weekly brain dumps, like I put my date nights in there. Do they always happen? No, but that's something that I always write down because I want it to happen. I even wrote it on my vision board for last year, and we've done it a lot more than I ever have, actually having that I look at every day. A passionate relationship. What about your immediate family? Do you have family dinners? Do you laugh together? Talk together? What kind of friendships do you have? Are they supportive and encouraging? That's something that was really huge for me this year as I let go of a lot of toxic. I've probably been the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. But you really have to look at those things. Who are the 5 people that you're around all the time? Are they encouraging? Are they helping you be where you want to be? Something that was big for me is just surrounding myself with people that have similar, maybe not even like similar interests, but are still similar as in like they're dreaming big. They don't make fun of you for dreaming big. They don't make fun of you for anything you have going on in your life. Just really paying attention to who is surrounding you. And then what do you do together? So think about your relationships. And again, this is our this is, you know, we're goal setting for 2020, but we're also goal setting for, like Christy said, this is 1 year from now, this is 5 years from now, this is 10 years from now. These are just all like building blocks to where you really want to be. And all of these things, like I said, it's going to be part of our vision statement. And once we have our vision statement that we're going to be working on all week, that is like your guys' homework for the week, is working on your vision statement. And then next Sunday, we're going to do the fun part, which is the vision board. I'll, in just a second, when T is doing her stuff, I'm going to go get my vision board and show you kind of just real quick, like what mine looked like last year. Mine's going to look a lot different this year, but it's like just the fun part of it. So we'll do that next Sunday.
All right. Are we ready for the next part? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So the next part is really looking at your body. And as health coaches, that's something that it's not all about the body. Really, mindset is a huge part of it, but our body is part of it. We want to feel healthy and we want to feel good. And so really looking at your body. So the prompts are going to be, are you strong? Do you have energy? Do you feel rested? That's going to be a huge one for me in 2020. I feel like that's something that I really was lacking in 2019. So rest is going to be really important for me. Are you flexible? Are you agile? Are you thin? Do you feel sexy? Are you full of muscle? Are you showing up for your workouts? Do you have healthy relationships with food? So do you see food as a stress relief, or are you using it to fuel your body? Like, what is that relationship like? Those kinds of things that are really related to your body. I highly recommend with that last one, if you feel like you don't have a very good relationship with food, both programs now have components where both the nutrition programs we offer, the Ultimate and Portion Fix and To Be Mindset, both have components where they really work through like stress eating and mindless eating and things like that. So that's something for me when I first started coaching. That's why coaching made a huge difference for me, as I really worked through that emotional side of things. So really looking at your body and how do you want to feel and what do you want to look like coming this year. I'll give you a moment there. All right. And then the last part, the last component that we really wanted to talk to you guys about is your free time and your community. This is really important for me. Like, how do you spend your free time? Do you have any hobbies? How often do you participate in them? Do you play any instruments? Do you travel? If you want to travel, this is a great business to be in. What do you do for fun? What kind of luxuries do you enjoy? Like, do you get a massage? Do you get your nails done? Do you get your hair done? Like all those kinds of things that you might do in your free time. How do you give back to your community? Do you want to spend time volunteering? Are you philanthropic? Are you giving back in some way? Do you want to be able to be someone that's donating money to your community and helping, or someone who organizes some kind of fundraiser, things like that? So how do you want to be in your community, and how do you want to have your free time? And really, we're thinking like big picture, dream life, 2 to 3 years from now. What does that look like for you? All right. Do you guys want me to go over the vision statement on what that should look like next? I'm getting a nod from Ash. Sound good, Christy? Okay. All right, you guys, I'll try and read this really slow, but when we're writing our vision statement, this is the main prompt for when you're thinking about that big picture, okay? Your vision should excite you. So that's why we went over each of these areas, okay? We want something that's going to excite you, to motivate you. As you move through the year, you'll think of new things, dream bigger dreams, and you'll get more clear on the life that you want to create. So we highly encourage you to rewrite this vision every single quarter. And sometimes if you need to rewrite it monthly, that may change. You may blow your mind. When I first started coaching, I was just talking to Ashley and Christy about this. When we started coaching, I saw diamond as this like impossible thing to obtain. But you know what happened is I sat down and I wrote specific goals on how I was going to get there. And soon enough, in like 3-4 months, all of a sudden I hit something that I was like, oh my God, I can actually do this. And so your goals are going to evolve. Your vision for your life is going to evolve. When I first started this, I didn't think that I would ever be a business builder. I started this thinking, maybe I might do okay with this. Maybe I might get healthy. And then things started to fall in place. And so I just want you to keep your mind open that you might shock yourself. Like you might inspire yourself and you might have to change this every single month or every single quarter. And the nice thing about if you do get this planner is she gives you, each quarter, she gives you space to rewrite it, but you don't need a fancy book. You can use a notebook. So that's the vision statement component. And then Ashley, did you want to share your vision board?
Yeah, I'll go get it. I totally forgot. Mom brain.
While she's grabbing her vision board, does anybody have any questions? Does anyone want us to go back and really discuss any specific areas? If this is scary, or if you're like, oh, I don't know, that's totally normal. When I first sat down to do this, it took me, like, I really wanted to sit down and really think about each of those components. Because I think I grew up thinking very modestly. And I always thought like to want more, to have too much, that, you know, that was too luxurious and that wasn't really like my family style. And so to like really dream about what would be fun or what would be inspiring or what would really, whatever kind of excites you, like that's okay. And I had to kind of get over that it's okay to want more than what I have right now. I can be happy in the moment and still strive for a different life or still strive for something that excites me. You know what I mean? And I had to kind of get over that for myself because that was something that I felt bad about in the beginning. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but
I think we all do, Tanya. And I think that's one of the things that we really need to let you guys know tonight is that's why we are supposed to be dreaming big here, guys. It's not a doable task. Like something that we know we can do shouldn't be on our vision board. Something that we think, oh, well, I can make sure and make that happen next month. If you know that you can make it happen next month, that does not go on your vision board because that is something that you already have set in your mind that you're going to do and it's going to happen. The things that go on our vision boards are things that are dreamable. These are our big dreams that we have. And for me last year, one of the things, I wish I had my vision board, but we're on vacation right now. But one of the things that was on my vision board last year was a diamond, a picture of a diamond that my daughter drew 2 years prior. And the year before, I was so afraid of hitting diamond that I wouldn't put that on my vision board. She like drew this beautiful diamond. I wish I had it. I don't. But and last year when I tacked it up on my vision board, I was like, I'm gonna make diamond this year. And I'm going to do it by March. She had the date of when she drew it on there. Now, it didn't happen by March, you guys. And that's one of the things, too, that I want to share with you guys is just because we say something's going to happen and we give something a time period doesn't mean that it's going to happen right then either. But this is a dream. These are dreams that we have for ourselves. I had a dream to be diamond. I was afraid to put that dream on my vision board the year before. Just like Tanya said, she thought, oh, I wasn't going to be a business builder in the beginning. But last year, I knew that that's what I wanted. Last year, I knew I was going to make that happen. I didn't know how I was going to make it happen, but I knew that that was a dream that I had. So that's what we're talking about. It's not something that we know is doable because when I made my vision board last year, it did not have doable things. What goes on our vision boards are dreams that we have. So Ashley, show us your vision board. I see you over there with it.
Okay, so I just saw that Shelby just said that's totally how, or what'd she say? Yeah, she's a realist and she struggles to dream. And I, like, when I look at my vision board now, I'm like, that's exactly how I felt when I did this. Because now when I make mine, it's going to be so full, like it will be insane. You can see, like, there's not much on it because I was so afraid of dreaming because, like, my husband, he's a Marine. He's a very, very much so a realist. And I think I've just kind of taken that on where I'm like, there's no way. But within the last year, I was an emerald when I created this board. And now when I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I did that. Oh my gosh, I did that. Oh my gosh, I did that. Like, these things can actually happen, but it's more about believing in yourself. It's more about getting in that personal development, because that's truly what created me to have the mindset of like, I do deserve to dream to have this. I do deserve this. I do deserve that. So sitting in an emerald when I created this, and I remember thinking like, I don't even want to put diamond on it because I know that's what I was going for. Like, I don't even want to put that on there because I don't want to like upset myself when I look at it and I don't hit it. And I ended up at 1 star this year, you guys, which, like, I could cry thinking about it because I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it. But just looking at my vision board from last year, well, 2019, and now looking at what I'm going to create going into Sunday with you guys, like, I'm so excited, and I'm just here to just scream from the rooftops. You deserve to dream. You deserve to have your page so freaking full of crazy, like, puke goals is what one of our guys that trains us, he calls them puke goals. You're allowed to have puke goals that like literally make you want to vomit thinking about it, but it's so incredibly possible. And that's what being around us, that's what being around this community does to you, you guys. You start like crazy believing in yourself, things that you've never thought possible. So literally hardly anything on here. I did hit several of them, like, and I even put things like being intentional with every hour of my day as far as like business hours and family time. Was I completely perfect? No, I'm human, but it's something I strive for every single day. I put on there that I want to do a Dave Ramsey event. I did that. Putting in date nights. I put in a new home. We didn't end up doing that, like, and that's okay. I wanted to host my own coach meet and greets once a month. I've done that. But yeah, I just wanted to like literally tell you guys it's possible, and just put as much stuff on your vision board as possible. Like, do not be afraid, and you're gonna have that wherever you're at. Like, I'm gonna put mine in my little desk area because I'm here every day. But like in your bathroom, I don't care, wherever you need to put it that you see it every single day, or make a copy of it. I don't know, but you need to make sure you see it every single day.
So one of the things that I did is I have mine. Some of y'all know that I have a workout closet. I know it's ridiculous. I work out in my closet, which was one of my visions from the year before, is to turn my closet into a workout space. But that's where mine is. But I also have a digital one that I created, and it's actually at my office at work, sitting right above my monitor that I look at all day long. And so it's there, and it's visible, and it's viewable, and it's going to look a lot different this year because that little vision board was, I was scared to put certain things on it, but not this year. So one of the things that we were actually on a vision call a couple nights ago with one of the top coaches. And I just want to share a couple things that she shared with us. Is that okay, Ashley? Do you think for us and Tanya to share a couple of her guided questions? Yeah. So the guided questions that I really, for myself, that were helpful is, what does your life look like if money isn't an issue? So that was like our number one question, right, that we wrote down to begin with. This is a big one for me. What character traits do you want to be known for? So when I am gone from this earth, how do I want people to remember me? What is it? And I don't know if y'all have heard this song Legacy by Nicole Nordeman. It's one of my very favorite songs. I hope they play it at my funeral one day. So y'all are here, so y'all know that I want that song played at my funeral. It's an amazing song because I do want to leave a legacy, but what does that look like? What does your legacy look like? What's something that you've always really wanted to do but didn't have the courage to do it? And I can say, I think Ashley, Tanya, and I can all say that doing something like this, if you had told me 5 years ago that I was going to be leading a vision and goal setting call, I would have laughed at you. I would have said you were nuts. There's no way I'm going to do that. When I actually told, we're on a family trip right now, and I told my parents what I was going to do, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, we're going to go do this. So, and I love it. Like, I love getting to do this. And I know Tanya and Ashley love getting to do this. But I promise you, if you'd asked us 5 years ago what we'd be sitting here doing tonight, it would not be this. So what is it, something that the courage, and one of the things that's going to be on my vision board, and it's only because my dad mentioned it a few days ago, was that speaking at an event. He's like, I think you need to speak at an event. And I'm like, what? So that's going to be on my vision board for this year. So who knows? Maybe this is the event. No, I'm just teasing. So what do you wish you had more time for in life? Those are all really good things. Now, here's one of the things that I really liked, and this was kind of a rude awakening to me, the mistakes people make with vision boards. And this is totally mistakes that I made last year, and I think this is really good for us to sit and think about as we're preparing what we're going to put on our boards. And I already mentioned this before, but it's not doable. It's dreamable. We're putting dreams on this board. What do you dream of? Don't put something too far out. So like, and that's funny because that's one of the things they do in this Cultivate planner. They like, what do you want to be when you're 70? And one of the girls and I that do this together, is it you, Kim, that we were talking about that? I don't know, but somebody and I were talking about this, and like, I can't even think about 70. So don't get too far into the future, but think about the future, but don't get too carried away. Don't edit your vision board along the way. I think that's really important as well. You can add things to your vision board, but don't take things away because they didn't happen. There's going to be things that you put on that vision board and you're going to be like, why did I put that on there? But it's okay, just leave it on there, and 6 months later, whenever you're like, oh, you'll say, well, that was something that I put on there, but I didn't need to do anymore, so it's fine. But where it can be seen, Tanya already mentioned, or Ashley mentioned that. And I think that's all. Oh, a vision board is not full of quotes. That's what my vision board was, a little bit too much quotey last year. So I think if there's some quotes that are extremely meaningful to you, then yes, put them on there, but it shouldn't be like 10 different quotes. I think that's what they're trying to get to.
Can I speak?
Yes.
I was going to speak on that really quick. Something that I have learned from Melanie Mitro, she's a top coach, if you guys don't know who she is. She was saying, like, for instance, we want to build a home one day. She said, go to like the land that you want to build the house on. Like if there's like there is actually down the road, like our dream piece of land, go down there, take a picture of it. Literally take the picture of the land and put it on your vision board. And I mean, it doesn't have to be like a house for you, but literally that crazy, maybe it's that vacation that you want to take with your family. That's another thing I'm going to be putting on it. We want to go to Disney this, I promise my kids, I'm like, I will make it happen. We will be at Disney this summer, no matter what I have to do. I'm going to put, literally walking into it, I'm going to put that on my vision board. Like, make it super, super emotional for yourself, because you're going to make working that much harder, because this business, I'm not going to tell you it's easy, you guys. It's easy, but it's not, because you have to put in the work every single day. But that's the beauty of it. Like, these things can truly happen for you. There's no reason why someone else can have this and you can't, but you have to put in the work. We can have all the dreams we want, but if we're not putting in the work to do it, it's just going to be a piece of paper sitting on your table. You know what I mean? So let it be super emotional for you, these things that you're going to be putting on your vision board. I just want to share that, is like, get super personal with like pictures and stuff like
that. No, I think that's exactly right. Like, let's put pictures. If one of mine is to take my family to Paris, and want to go to Europe. I want to take them to Europe. I want to see Europe, and I want to go with my aunt and uncle and my mom and dad if they want to go. But like a picture of my aunt and uncle and my kids, and like maybe I will glue it in front of the Eiffel Tower. But like I want to see that happen. I want to see that for my family because my family is getting older, and it's like if we've got to get that dream happening sooner than later. So dream big, because that's a big dream for us to go to Europe. So
I really want to encourage anybody who's on this call that was like me. I attended a vision call last year, and I did all the prompts and I wrote everything down, and I had visions and I had goals, but I was too scared to create a board. I never created a board last year. And I know there's people on here, Shelby, I'm thinking of you because you're a realist. I don't want you to be scared to create a board. And so that's why we have this whole other party set up next weekend. Wear your jammies, bring your carbonated water or your wine, whatever you want, or your hot tea, and do this with us. Like, don't be scared to do this step, because that's what I was scared to do. And I wish that I had that to look back on. It like kills me that I was too scared to do that. But if I was too scared, but I was still determined to work and put in the effort, and I could still get some of those dreams I still was able to grasp some of that. I know that you guys can do that too. Because if you're scared, that's exactly how I felt. And I still feel that way. I have a hard time like dreaming big. It's just not who I am. And I'm learning to do that as we go along. So one of the things that I'm going to be putting on our board, I'm going to sit down with my husband and get really specific on purchasing a new vehicle because mine's ready to die. Now, the goal isn't to purchase a new vehicle. I just want to have in my savings enough so that I can purchase this vehicle in cash, because I don't want to have more and more debt because we have so much debt from school. But when we both have vehicles that are, from 2004 and 3, and they're rusting and I have tape on them, and but I want to get really specific. So I'll pick out the specific kind of vehicle, all the details of it, and I'm going to be putting that on the board so that when my car does die, I'm going to have that savings ready to go. So that's scary for me to even say that out loud. It really is. But I don't want you guys to be scared and then freeze and not do the activity with us. I would love to see you guys there. So does anybody have any questions? I know Melissa, what'd you say? One of mine is for Kevin to take me to New York and see a Broadway show, but I want to fit in a fancy dress. Melissa, how about you take Kevin to that fancy show and you rock that damn dress? Sorry if there's little kids.
Right? Yes. Yes.
You're gonna take him to New York.
Yes, exactly. And also, you guys are saying you're scared to fail. The thing is, though, you're gonna fail, but we fail forward. Like, you're only truly going to fail if you completely just quit and give up on yourself. That is the only way you're truly going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite thing to say is fail forward, because you guys, things that I did a year ago, I would never do right now. But that's how I learned. They're just mile markers to get me to where I want to go. So we're all scared. I mean,
we are all scared. It's scary, you guys, to dream big. But little by little, we can get to those goals. And I just say it over and over and over again in my head that I can make it happen. I love that quote, make it happen. I quote, and I'm going to put it on my board. Actually, that was on my board last year. So little quotes are okay, but I can't have 70 quotes on there. So. But make it happen.
Not all of it has to be money related either. It can be like confidence related. It can be mindset related. So Shelby, maybe your goal would be working on reading personal development every day related to being able to let yourself dream. It doesn't have to be something that costs money. These are just some of the examples that we gave you guys. But it can totally be things about...
That was actually...
Go ahead.
That was... I actually had... I'm going to write affirmations down every single day. Like, that was something on my vision board, and that's something that I've stuck with. And those are the small, tiny wins that I'm like, gain confidence in myself. I'm like, okay, I did that. Obviously, I missed some days here and there, but overall, that is my routine, is I write my affirmations every single day. And I'm telling you, writing affirmations builds so much confidence. So put those things on your vision board. Yeah, like she said, it doesn't have to be money-wise or anything. you want to have obviously some of those big things on there, but I think writing affirmations every day is a big deal. I think personal development every day is a very big deal.
It's
Very.
huge. And I just want to say that because you were writing affirmations, I started writing affirmations. And one of my goals was to do gratitude, which Tanya and I had both been doing. And, but I hadn't been doing it daily. Like I would do it here and there and wherever. So that was one of my huge goals, is to do gratitude and a daily devotional every single day. And yes, I missed some days. I know. I went through 2 100-day devotionals with gratitude, and then we just did a 40-day devotional in my group. And I've been doing these in my boot camps, you guys. So like, I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing this alongside other women. It's not a requirement. I have a separate faith-based area in my boot camps for my girls, but you guys, like, dream big. That's one of my dreams, is to have a group of like-minded women that I can do these things with. And then Ashley and Tanya and I, we tag each other with our gratitude, our affirmations, our devotionals that we're reading, because that helps remind us that those are important goals for us. And that was one of my big goals last year, and I'm thrilled. It had nothing to do with money. And I feel better than ever writing down my gratitude. Plus, I've helped other people by doing those things. And I think when you start giving yourself permission to have goals like that and to share your story, you're sharing your story with other people, and it leads them to a better place too. And that's what this business, that's what this journey, that's what helping other people, it's about. It's not just about fitting into that dress to go to New York. It's not just about losing the 30 pounds. It's not just about I'm moving my body every single day. This year for me, I realized more than ever that it wasn't about the scale. It was about the inside. And the inside transformation was one of my huge goals. And I feel like I did pretty good on that goal through the help of my friends that are sitting right here today. So.
And honestly, I think it helps on the really hard days to look back on all of these things. Like, I can't tell you, like, this month has just been like put me through the ringer in so many ways. And I get to go back and see all these things I'm thankful for with my gratitude. I get to look back on all these affirmations, and some of the affirmations have actually came true. So just know that when you're doing this every day, it's such a game changer.
It's huge. And another one of my goals was to like meet people from the team, and I did that. You guys, as outgoing as I can be really shy, and like going places by myself is not my jam. Like going and meeting people. And like last January, well, actually a couple months before January, I decided I'm flying to Ohio and I'm going to Super Saturday with my coach, and I'm going to meet people. And like, I was so scared. And that was such a huge, scary, big goal, dream for me to do that. Meeting one of the girls that was in the video that got me going on this program to begin with, getting to meet, oh my gosh, my brain's gonna go, the Shift Shop, Chris Downing, like getting to meet him and being inspired by him. So that was super scary for me. But you want to know what happened on my way to the airport, you guys? I ran into Rachel Hollis. And I was like, what is this? I like ran, and we were on the same plane, and I got a selfie with her. I never in a million years would have gone up to Rachel Hollis and asked to take a selfie with her or thank her for the books that she has created that have helped me become the person that I've become. And I wouldn't have read those books had I not been on this journey with you guys. So all those things, and I'm not trying to toot my horn, I'm just trying to say, like, greater things can happen to you than just that big house or that fancy dress or that trip to Paris or whatever. That was a huge deal for me and a real big transformation. So just think about things like that. So anyway, you remember my Rachel Hollis, right? I was like, I just got Rachel Hollis. And then people on airplane are like, who is that girl? Is she a star or something? She is to me.
I wanted to throw out Shelby's question.
Hey, and I was just going to say, Summit better be on everybody's vision board. Summit 2020 New Orleans. That better be on your vision board.
I'm going. Who's
Best
going?
time ever.
Who has their ticket? Raise their hand.
Who's going to Summit or who wants to go to Summit? Selena, raise your hand.
We never see all the hands up.
Everybody better raise their hands.
Now, I know Kim is going, and I think Kayla has her ticket. I think Cassie got her ticket too, so I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun.
It's going to be amazing.
So
So
much
for
fun.
those that are like, in case you're not sure what it is, Ashley and Shelby, I don't know if we've talked about it a lot, but it is taking place in New Orleans in July. Is it the second week of July, guys? Second or third week? I can get the specific dates for you. But basically, I don't go on the very first day. I usually go like Thursday and then leave Sunday morning. But it's this huge conference where all of the top coaches, all of these amazing speakers, everybody comes together, and we're basically there celebrating each other, going to these amazing conferences, learning, growing, celebrating. You go out to eat with your other coaches and friends, and there's just a lot going on. And it's just, I don't know, it was just inspiring to be there this last summer when we were in Indianapolis. And we roomed together in hotels, and it was just an experience I haven't really had before. It was just really fun. So I feel like if you want to be a coach, it's kind of like a non-negotiable. If you can figure out a way to go. Like anyone who's a coach will be there. It's a great place for you to learn and just grow as a coach. Oh yeah, Ashley, my heart felt so full too. Like it's inspiring. Rachel Hollis was there. So when I first started coaching, I think one of the reasons that I hit the ground running is because I knew the rules have changed. But when I first started coaching, if you hit Success Club for the first 3 months in a row, you got a free ticket to Summit. And I knew Rachel Hollis was going to be the speaker. So I worked my butt off so I could get a free ticket to see her because I was obsessed with her. Now the rules have changed. So
Now it's 6 months.
Yep. Now you have 6
months, right?
to hit it.
That's exciting.
That's exciting because if you miss a month, it doesn't mean it all goes down the drain. Your goal really should be to hit Success Club every month if you want to be a business builder or a working coach. But if you don't hit it, when you first start, you're still learning. And so if you don't hit it the first 3 months, that's okay. You still have a chance in that first 6 months to get a free ticket. You guys, because a ticket can range, the prices change depending on the time of the year. But what is it, like $150 to $250 is the price range, I think, for those tickets for the several days that you're there. So that's a really nice, awesome reward. Do they still have the cash bonus? Do you guys know for the summit?
I don't know anything about the cash bonus. I just read the
Success Club.
Yeah, the Success Club stuff. And basically it was you need to hit Success Club 3 times in 6 months, and it doesn't have to be consecutive. So it could be 1, 3, 6. And then you also get to do one of the new workouts. You get picked to be in the pilot test group, which I thought that was super cool. So you guys, had I known that, I would have been all over it, because that means you get access to one of the new Beachbody programs that's coming out before anybody even gets to buy it. And
before it launches.
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, I'm going to put that on my vision board. I don't know how I'm going to make that happen, but
seriously, because that would be like when, say, Bar Blend was coming out, that would be like you doing it like 6 months ago when they were filming and like creating the program. So the cool thing, if you're a coach and you do that, is that you get to kind of share that journey a little bit and kind of really use that curiosity marketing a little bit, and also show that you are successful enough to be able to get this privilege, and you can share that along with your journey. So if you were to get that would be such a leg up compared to most people. There's only a few people that get invited to those test groups, but new coaches have that awesome opportunity. Thanks for listing all those books. So if you guys didn't notice, in the chat window, Ashley listed a bunch of books. 100 Days to Brave was the first one I thought of too, Ash. That's why I asked if you were spiritual at all, Shelby. It's not super heavy on religion or spirituality, but there is, it is emotional, but it's really like life-based. So if you are not super into spirituality, you could still read, and I feel like it could still be beneficial for somebody. Yeah, those are all really great ones.
Okay, are we ready to go over the changes and all the fun stuff?
Yeah.
Before I'm sure. Okay.
And Shelby, you
Who
and I
wants to
talked
go?
about one too, about more books. And actually, I think, were you creating a list, Christy, of personal development books? And we can always post those in the group as well.
Yes, I am trying to create a list. I'm trying to get suggestions from other coaches so that we have a nice list from people to choose from. And I actually kind of want to categorize them. So I'd love to write a list, you know, of devotionals maybe that we've used, and a list of books that are good for like business building, a list of good books that are good for like habits. Like, so I think I'm definitely working on that. I'm hoping to get it done in the next week or two. I'm having trouble getting people to respond to my messages, and I think it's because it's the holidays right now, but I definitely will get something together because I think it's important, you guys. I have tons of personal development books that are for personal development, and they're great, and I think that's super important to be reading those. But I also think it's extremely important for you to be reading business personal development, because they're black and white, you guys. They're not the same thing. Reading a personal development book by Emily Lay, which I love. I've read all of her books. They're fantastic, but that's not the same as reading High Performance Habits. So I just want to make that clear when y'all are thinking about those books, that daily devotional was something super important for me personally every single day, but also some type of personal development. So I've actually just started being very mindful of that. One day, and I do my devotional every day, which is obviously personal, spiritual development. But one day I can do personal, but then I have to do business, personal business, personal business. So I'm being developed, right, personally, but I have to make sure that I'm reading a business personal development book too. I think it's important. So that's why I want to make the list, because I want to show kind of the division in books that have been helpful for me and other people. Are we going to talk about?
Who wants to go and talk? Yeah. What do we want to talk about first? The runners group?
Sure.
Okay.
Whose birthday is it?
One of you guys go.
Okay, I'm going. So we are excited to announce some changes that we're making in our accelerated mentorship, and we are doing this for you guys to help you guys grow the best that y'all can. So we have always had pods in our other team page, and we decided we need to do that with our people, with all of us, and not necessarily keep it divided, but just we're here to support each other. We're the faces that are seeing each other, and we know each other. So we need to be supporting each other in our business. So we're creating a runners pod, and it will start, January 1st? Is that when we're going to start it? And this will be a place for people that are ready to run with your business. So you are planning on filling out your business activity tracker 5 days a week. Yes, is that what we said?
Yep.
I'm fixing to get on our little thing so I don't misspeak. So it was
5 days a week.
5 days a week, your tracker has to be dropped in there. Now, it doesn't mean that every single thing has to be done on your tracker. That's what you should be aiming for, right? You should aim for all the things, but it must be dropped in there 5 times a week. You need to be inviting 5 people a day. Yes? Is that what?
That would be the minimum to stay in that group, but we would recommend that you would try to average about 50 invites if you do want to maintain for this retreat that we're having, that we'll go into later.
Yes, we're going to talk about our retreat here in a minute too. So we recommend 50 a week, but 25 minimum invites a week. And the goal here is for us to progress, for you to progress in your business, and for us to progress as well as a group and a team. We need to be inviting, and we need to be intentional about our inviting. And that is one of the hardest things for me in the beginning, and it took a long time for me to really do that. But once I started really using my business activity tracker, and you guys, I have it right here, I use it, I print it out. I don't necessarily do all the things. I even wrote Merry Christmas on the 25th. So Merry Christmas. No, I didn't work on Christmas. But you guys, it's being intentional with your business. And you need to decide what that's going to look like for you. And if that's not one of your goals, that's okay too. But we hope that that is one of your goals, and we hope that you will join us in the Runners Group. We're going to be there to support each other. We're going to drop our trackers, and we're just going to be there to encourage each other every single day. So we'll be dropping our trackers in there. So you'll see Ashley, Tanya, and I in there every single day dropping our trackers, and we're just going to be there for as much encouragement as possible. Next.
Well, and if you have a day where you invited 3 people, don't give up. Just the next day, just think, oh, I should probably add an additional 3 people the next day. Because there are some days where my invites will be lower, and then the next day on a Saturday, I might have a bunch because I might have more free time. I also don't want you to get in that mindset where if you feel you didn't do very good that day, or if you really missed a bunch of stuff, don't be afraid to continue dropping it. I know sometimes people might be I know when I was just a couple weeks ago, when I wasn't feeling good and trying to get back into the swing of things, I almost didn't want to drop my tracker anywhere because I didn't want people to see how low my numbers had been. And we can't get stuck in that mindset. We just have to kind of keep trucking along. Like Ashley was saying before, you won't fail unless you absolutely quit. So just keep going after it. It actually gets easier the more you do it.
The more you invite, the easier it gets, you guys. The more you start doing these habits, the easier it's going to be. I promise. I promise. Somebody that's been doing it for a couple of years, it gets easier and easier. Also, do not compare yourself to anybody else's tracker. Your tracker is your tracker. If you set a goal to invite 25 people this week, but Tanya had a goal of 75 people and Stephanie had 50, and you drop your tracker with 25 people, good for you. That was your goal. Do not compare yourself to other people. That is not what we're here for. That's not what the group is for. It's not to make you feel bad. Your goal is different than somebody else's. Every single person on this call right now has a different goal for 2020. And we are all going to be taking different actions to get to our goals. So I just want that to be very clear. Minimum 25. If you invite 25, good for you. I can promise you in the beginning, I was scared to death. I was like, oh, I invited 5 people. Yay. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do at first, but the more you start doing it, it's going to get easier. And don't compare yourself, especially to those of us that have been doing this for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Our goals are different than your goals, and that's how they should be. So,
yeah.
Okay. Do we want to talk about our retreat?
Yeah. Should we go over the different days that we're going to have in the group? The different.
Yes. Let's talk about that. Ashley, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and talk about that. So each day we're going to have a prompt of things for you guys to do, and hopefully this will make everything just kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. As you go, it'll become easier. So having these prompts, this is something that we personally never had from our coach, but I think this is really cool for us to be able to do for you guys and help you excel your business. That's what our mentorship is for, is to truly help you. So Monday is the National Wake Up Call. That's at 10 a.m. every Monday, and those are recorded. So if for some reason you have something else going on, but make sure that is something so vital to be listening to every single Monday or Tuesday on your ride to work or whatever it's on a podcast. So just were we going to just share like a tip we got on Mondays from the National Wake Up Call? What was our idea on Monday for that? Just share something that kind of like resonated with you on the call. That way we know that you're actually listening to the call and getting something out of it.
Yeah, just a takeaway. Like, what was your biggest takeaway from the call? And one of the reasons, guys, we've got to listen to those calls is they actually will help you with your lead generators. They will help you with your posts. They will help you build your business. So, but yeah, we'll share our takeaways.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put in the
and then Tuesday
window. I was putting in there, if you go to
are.
Team Body 411 on their Facebook page, they always have the live and the recording. You can also, what's the podcast? Is it just?
It's just Beachbody, just the Beachbody podcast, right?
I think so. If you look
I'm
it
pretty
up.
sure I have it in here.
But they have a podcast as well. So if you're like me, I'm at work at 10 o'clock. There's no way I can ever listen to it unless it's like a holiday, like Martin Luther King Day or something. So I always listen to the recording. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Kim. So what does it say? Team Beachbody Podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always listen to the recording. So on my way home from work, or say you can't listen to it, like you can't, say you work like a shift as a nurse and you don't get off until like Tuesday morning, just go in there and post when you get off work or like on Tuesday in that thread. But just try to go back to that thread because we want to really make sure that you are consistently listening to that National Wake Up Call. It's truly a call where you're sitting down with a top coach that's doing something really well. And the company has been like, we need you to share this so other people can be successful. So you're kind of having like coffee with someone who is like killing it. And they're giving you little inside tips on how you can do the same thing. And oftentimes when you've been watching it for a while, you start to hear some of the same tips. And you're like, I should probably do some of those things. Like those things are clearly working for every person that is working up this ladder. You'll start to notice some of those same things happening. So anyway, I'm going to stop, but I'll let you keep going, Ash. But I wanted to make sure you guys just know that the wake up call is important.
Yeah. Okay, so Tuesday we're going to give a business tip for you guys. Nothing really has to be done with that. We're just going to come up with some, whoever's week it is, we share, like I'll have 1 week, T will have 1 week, Christy will have 1 week. So it's whatever is working for us personally in our business. We're going to share a little tip for you guys on Tuesdays. Wednesday is going to be a personal development takeaway. So whatever you're reading or listening to, we'll just have a post on there and we just want you to share below what your takeaway is. And honestly, I think something that I do on my Instagram stories is if there's something that's really good, I just like snap a picture of it and I just share it on the Instagram stories. You guys, we have to be in our Instagram stories every single day. You do not have a business if you are not sharing on social media. Like that's what our business is social media. So just getting used to those things, like maybe it is once you're getting used to it, if you are newer, share something that was really important to you in your personal development or something like that. That way people can start resonating with you because, you know, maybe something I'm reading, somebody else will be like, oh my God, I feel the same way, or, oh my gosh, that was so good. And honestly, my personal development takeaways, like Christy had mentioned, I use some of those in my posts. Like I'll use it as like if there's a quote that was so good, like I'll put it in my tagline at the very beginning because it's like eye-catching and resonates with someone else. So then Thursday, we're going to do Thoughtful Thursday. And this is going to your Instagram stories and just tell, how are we going to do this? Somebody that you're thankful for, how are we going to share that in stories? What was our thought on that? I can't quite remember that one.
Our thought was sharing, just being thoughtful and mindful of someone, maybe somebody that has helped us or encouraged us. It's basically giving a shout out to someone and tagging them in your story. But then the same thing with us is that we can tag each other and share those with each other. So just being, and it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody in the group. is one of the things that we were talking about. Like, you know, maybe somebody bought you a coffee, your coworker brought you a coffee at work, and how sweet was that? Thanks, whoever, for bringing this, and just kind of showing that we're a caring and loving community, because we are. So.
And if you work out in the mornings, if you're on Zoom, sometimes you'll see people will tag other people who are on Zoom with you. So that's an easy way to shout out people, like thanking them for their accountability.
Yes.
Or I know I've reached out to people in boot camp, like Shelby and Ashley and Celine. I know we've mentioned like we worked out at a certain time, like taking those people. And then Shelby, to answer your question, I think setting specific business hours and then thinking about a story is about 15 seconds long. You're not on your phone very long. So you quickly snap it, you're done, you're off your phone. I think it's when you don't set the business hours, because I'm bad at that, because I need to, that's something that I'm always working on, is setting good business hours. That it makes it easier to just not feel like you're on your phone all the time. But like with a story, I think Kelsey recommends like every couple hours if you're able to, but I don't do that when I'm at work. Sometimes I will at lunch snap something, but depending on your schedule, it's that you don't have to be on there constantly, but just like periodically adding in some value or showing up in some kind of way so that people see that you're actively, you know, working or showing up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Because that's what they want to see. They want to see that you're not going to just disappear on them, like you're continuously showing up every single day. Everybody that's on my Instagram knows I'm showing up first thing in the morning. I'm getting in my morning routine. People expect that from me now. And when I don't show up, people are messaging me like, are you okay? Just because I'm continuously showing up. They know I'm not going anywhere. And that's what they need to see from you guys. So that was our Thoughtful Thursday. And then Friday, we're going to do some kind of fun content where we'll tag each other, and we'll make that up on whoever's week it is. We'll make up whatever fun content that's going to be for that day. So just be looking on Fridays for what that fun's going to be. And then Saturday, everyone is going to drop their tracker. So even if you're in the runners group dropping your tracker every day, still in the mentorship on Saturdays, we're all going to drop our week of trackers. Something that's important too is I know that some people work their business more on the weekends. Like T works her business mainly on the weekends. So we notice that, we understand that, and just talk to your coach and just let them know like, hey, I'm going to get in my 25 invites or whatever, but it's probably going to be on Saturday, or it's probably going to be on Sunday. We're going to drop our trackers on Saturdays, and then Sundays are always going to be our goal setting for the week. And then we'll have prompt for that, so that we can set our intentions for the week. Every Sunday, we should be brain dumping. I know me and Christy talked. I personally do mine on Fridays now. I don't know why. It just become something that has just worked for me here lately. So Friday mornings, that's something that I have been doing. But Sundays, I'm still going to write down my goals and what I have going on for the week. That's setting your marketing plan for the week. Having a good idea of what you want your week to look like it takes away from that stress of, oh my God, I got to be on my IG stories. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to talk about. And that's what we are hoping, having these days and these prompts that we're doing with you guys. We're hoping this helps you kind of take that stress off of you of, oh my gosh, what do I talk about? And if you look in our mentorship, we're always going to be giving you tips and stuff. And that's something that we want to be better with. Going into 2020 is truly giving you guys trainings that are important, because we are 100% overtrained. Like, you don't need that much training, but just sharing tidbits of things that are helping us that hopefully can help you. And Saturday mornings, I wanted to mention, make sure you guys look at the calendar, because this has all of this is on the calendar that I made. The Saturday mornings, there's a coffee chat that one of the top coaches in our Conquer Nation, Shelby, she holds, and it's really just a time of like, it's like us. Like there's about, Christy, when you say there's about this many people in there, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's just super quaint, and we just kind of help each other of like what's working for us. Just it's really super nice to have, because you guys, this community, sometimes it can, when you're working your business every day by yourself, it's kind of like, dang, I wish I was kind of in front of somebody. So to have that Saturday mornings, if you can make it, I highly recommend it. It doesn't have to be every Saturday, but pop in every once in a while if you just are feeling like you need some community time or you need some help with your business.
Yeah,
And that's
definitely.
it. I put it on the calendar. It's like 9
I think it's 9
a.m. Central Standard Time. So,
I highly recommend, even
Yeah.
if just every other week or once a month, but get on there sometimes, because every single week that I've hopped on, and I haven't been able to get on every single week because I have stuff going on, just like we all have life, right? But I've learned something new every single week. It's like, oh gosh. So it's a great way to learn from other people, and to help once you become a leader too, is to feel comfortable talking in front of other people and sharing what's working for you as well. So I think that's a really great place for that.
And
oh, real quick, because hold on, I just saw this that we forgot about. So we're all going to create a list of 100, right?
Yes, we are.
All of us in the very beginning. If some of you maybe are new, or some of you have already done this or been working on this, we talked about how we're like, man, did we ever finish our 100? Or, we've been doing this for a while. So we're all creating our list of 100 people, like anybody that we can think of. You're talking about like maybe people you went to school with, family members. For me personally, I've had a really hard time with like asking friends and family, because I don't know, I don't know. I know how I feel, but I'm just like, I was afraid of being judged, and now I'm to the point where I could give a crap less. As long as I'm happy is what matters. So creating that list of 100, we're all going to do it together. That way we kind of have a thing to go off of. I mean, you can get your 25 invites off really quick with this list of 100. So are we going to do that throughout this week, and then we're going to drop them? Or how are we going to do that next week?
Let's do that.
We're going to give you the week to do it, right?
So let's work on our vision this week, and then our list of 100, we can start working on it. But let's say it needs to be done by the first week of January, and that way.
Go ahead.
Right. I feel like that way y'all don't feel overwhelmed. It's a holiday week. Y'all can get your vision taken care of, and then you can start gradually making that list, but y'all have 2 weeks to get it done, and there will be no excuses of why it didn't get done next week, because you were working on your vision.
We were saying we don't feel like you have to drop your list, but we're going to go off the honor system, and you can say, like, when we have the post, if you could say that you got it done. If you want to drop it, that's fine. We know that's kind of personal to add, like, show people's names, but it is going to help you think of ideas, and it's going to make it a lot easier. I did want to say, Shelby mentioned she loves seeing our stories, but no, and it works. So it just takes you a while to create interesting posts, and that's normal. I think, what did Kelsey say? It takes her about 30 minutes to 60 minutes to create like a really thought out post at times. That's not uncommon.
Well, here's the deal. The more
can
you
I
start
say,
writing posts, who is talking? I'm sorry. The more you're writing.
Go ahead.
Ashley and I are both talking.
It gets easier over time.
I was just going to say about Instagram stories. Like, I half the time think there's nothing interesting about me. But for some reason, I get messages and people think I'm interesting. So don't discount yourself to not be interesting, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of people in this world. There's a lot of people on Instagram. And I promise you're interesting to somebody. I promise. Okay, go, Christy.
It's true. I don't know what I was going to say. It doesn't matter.
And just mix it up. Add value. Think about what's helped you. The stories, though, is just like your life. That's just showing who you are.
Yeah.
It's not really you have to create it super interesting. You're just showing up in your stories. That's just to get your personality. The post is what I found to be the most challenging, but that gets easier over time. Personal development helps a ton. And then just thinking of how you can add value, like what's helped you that someone else might not find helpful. You guys, I had no idea how many people would find it helpful that I use a meat thermometer in my chicken. I thought everyone just did that. And Christy was messaging me, where did you get that thing? And I had so many coaches like, what is this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, doesn't everyone use a meat thermometer? Like, what? So, like, think about daily things. Like, there are so many people that don't cook at all anymore, that they just go through the drive-thru. They hit up Chick-fil-A like Ash. I'm just teasing. But you know what I mean? Just think of, like, basic stuff that you use all the time. She loves her Chick-fil-A, so I'm just giving her a hard time.
She does, and I've never used a meat thermometer. I'm 42 years old. I'm like, what is a meat thermometer? Like, I just cook the chicken and then we eat
I
it.
haven't.
But I'm going to get one. I'm going to get one and try it out.
Saves time, no salmonella, it's juicy. Anyway, let's keep going with the list because I just saw the time and you guys are amazing. I'm so sorry it's taking this long.
Okay.
The list is done. It's retreat time, right?
Retreat
the
time.
fun part. Oh, she's funny.
What?
I'm just
That's
reading.
you.
I'm reading the
See,
chat.
I'm not alone. I'm not the only one that's never used a meat thermometer. High five, Ash.
That's so funny. So the team retreat. So this retreat is going to be set up as an incentive and just a really fun thing where we can get together as a community in a paid for vacation for those people that hit a goal that we're going to set in place. So the team retreat would likely be either end of May, June, in the summer, we're thinking. It would be like a long weekend. We haven't set the specific dates. We're getting things all set up because we're going to be paying for the place. So the team retreat is going to be a goal for anyone that were to hit diamond by a certain date. We'll get you that specific date, but it's going to be for people who are in that runner's pod. So people who are in that thread, who are working the business. So if you are sitting down and you're actually doing these things that we are telling you to do, like using the BAT, the business activity tracker, if you're actually inviting, we're recommending 50 a week. But even if you start off with 25 and work your way up, but if you're doing these things, you will get to that point. It's just a matter of time. It really is. I think a lot of us have it in our head that it's impossible, but if you start consistently doing those steps in your business, it's inevitable that it will happen. It's just the fact that you have to be consistent with it. You can't just do it for a couple days and then give up for a week, then do it for a couple days and then give up. It's that consistent habit and then showing up and providing value. You do that consistently and that will happen. I just wanted to kind of say that because I didn't think it was possible. And then it happened. And I was like, how did I do that? And I was like, oh yeah, I was told by every single person that goes on the National Wake Up Call, every single coach that you hear on a call, they're always saying, show up, keep consistent, and you will see the results that you want, not only with your health, but for your business as well. So I know some of us are probably thinking, oh, I can't do that. I don't have this like she does, or I don't have that like she does. Get that out of your head. Every single person on this call has that opportunity. Every single person on this call has the ability to do this. You just have to get out of your own way. Usually we're our biggest hurdle. If you are consistent, you definitely have that chance. And then it gets really fun when you build momentum. So
it does,
anyway.
for sure. I think that every single person here on this call, we would love to have each of you with us on the retreat. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are still working on all the details, but we will pay for the place for you to stay and you'll have to get there somehow. But we're figuring out the logistics of all of that right now. So we'll probably announce it in the next few weeks, more of the details, but just have that in the back of your mind to start working towards those goals, set goals. If a retreat, a fun vacation with us sounds good, and we'll do learning, we'll have fun, but we'll also do some learning and some training while we're together. We'll work out together, and it's just going to be a nice weekend of growth and just fun with friends.
It's probably going to be like a 3-for-1 deal for many of you guys, because if you're working on this, you're probably going to be getting that free summit ticket. And then you'll probably also be hitting Success Club, which means you're probably going to get an invite to the next Success Club trip. The Success Club trip for this March that we're going on is in Punta Cana. So if you like to travel, you have so many opportunities to get these different rewards, and it's just really consistently showing up. Just working on your health and consistently showing up. It sounds like it's crazy, big, far away dream, but if we can all do this, like it's just consistently showing up and consistently doing the business activity tracker. It's as simple as that. And when I first started, I was stubborn and I wouldn't use the tracker at first. I don't know why. I think I was just like, oh, I don't need that. silly. It just lays it out, like, do this and it will happen. So I think I'm just stubborn. My husband would agree. I don't like to be told what to do. But anyway, I'm really excited. The team retreat, we'll share more details. We just wanted to say, like, if you're interested in getting that free trip that we're going to be providing, that would be someone who's going to hop into this runner's pod with us. So if you're interested in that, like really showing up, really working your business, you need to reach out to your coach, and then we can plug you in there. And that's going to be a place where if you wanted to ask questions, you can, but that's what the mentorship is truly for. That pod will mainly be the business activity trackers will be in there. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to mention on that, Ashley or Christy, or any questions?
Well, I just wanted to make it clear, if you do want to run, just like Tanya said, please reach out to your coach. Let them know I'm ready to run with you. And for me, I'm going to set up meetings with my team members to talk about goal setting and stuff, which I think Tanya and Ashley had mentioned that they were going to do that as well. So how you need to do to get there. So
yeah, if you just set the goals up in place, you just kind of reverse engineer it backwards and just keep working at it.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we hope to see you all there. It's going to be fun. Well, you guys, we have taken up more of your time than we had anticipated, but that's not shocking at all because Tanya and I were on the call. So poor Ashley is like, gosh. But you
I'll be quiet so you guys can talk.
No. We let you talk some tonight.
Seriously though, thank you for staying on this call for so long. Remember that next Sunday will be our fun vision board. So get your pictures ready, get your pins, get your poster board or whatever you're going to do. You can also make them on Canva. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Canva, but if you are more of like a digital person, you can go to canva.com and have the free version and do it on Canva. But I think the board is just, I don't know. I just think the board's fun.
I like the board.
So
I did a digital last year too, and my board, I think better to have the board. That way you can add to it too.
Oh.
I was going to say that call will start promptly at 8 and ends before 8:30 because then our congregation team calls start back up. And so we'll just be using that time. So 8 to 8:30 or less. So don't worry, it won't be this long.
We promise.
Pinky swear. Does anybody have any questions before we hop off? Because we do want to make sure that we're helpful. And if you do have a question, this is a great time. I know you guys have asked them in the thread. I'm going to peek and see if we missed any.
And then we should do a quick boomerang and say goodnight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shelby, you asked about the podcast and you said something, was it in iTunes? I just have like an podcast little icon on my phone. I sent you a picture of it in Messenger.
Okay.
Do you guys use iTunes? Do they use iTunes for podcasts?
Yes.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it should be in there too.
Yeah, it's in there.
But I did send you my little icon. I gotta get my phone. I'm slow.
All right, is everyone ready?
I'm always terrible at these. I'll do my best.
For a little wave. Ashley has her hand ready. Okay, one. Oh, cute. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I got everybody on the first try. You guys, I'm not good at this. I'm so proud of myself.
Awesome. Thank y'all for coming and joining us.
Right. Thank you guys.
See y'all's boards next week.
Yes. All right.
Good night.